The Book of Eli, released in 2010 and is directed by the Hugh brothers, who are behind such films as Menace to Society, Dead Presidents, and From Hell. The film stars Denzel Washington, Gary Oldman, Mila Kunis, Ray Stevenson, and Jennifer Beals. It's been 30 years after a nuclear apocalypse, and Eli wanders the barren wasteland just surviving in this world. And he has in his possession a leather-bound book that he reads every single night. And one day he wanders into one of the few remaining villages that is run by Carnage, played by Gary Oldman. Carnage has been on the search for Eli's book for years because he believes whoever possesses this book has the power to rebuild civilization and make people follow him. So Carnage sets out on a chase for Eli, who is now accompanied by Salora, played by Mila Kunis, as he journeys westward to find where the book is telling him to end his journey. And up front, I will say my biggest gripe that I have with this movie is that it is one of the quietest films I have ever seen. I was seriously blaring the volume on my TV just so I was able to hear what these actors were saying.
But everyone talks like this because it's a very serious event and everything in here is serious, so yeah, it's serious. It's a serious whisper.
So frustrating. I actually had to look up the plot of this movie on Wikipedia because I had no idea what happened or what everyone's relationship was to each other. And that's not a good thing this time. You know, sometimes you see those movies and you go, whoa, what the hell just happened? Or maybe the subject matter really intrigues you and then you go do research on your own online. But when you have to go online just to figure out what the plot of the movie was, not a good sign. And that was super disappointing to me because I love the two main leads in this film. Denzel Washington and Gary Oldman are two of the best actors living today, and I feel like they were just okay in this film. I think they were trying really hard, but I don't think there was enough for them in the script to play with. Denzel Washington plays Eli, who we first meet right in the first scene of the film, killing a cat. You know, for food, which is something very hard for me to watch. Couldn't you show Eli killing something else other than a household pet? God, I cannot handle that. And that is the first scene in the movie, so I'm already in a pissed off mood, and this film just never regains my interest. And I think that's in part due to the aesthetic of this film. Everything is presented in grays and browns and in earth tones. The sky, the horizon, the buildings, the clothing, hell, even the sun is muted some way with these gray tones, which I think sounds really good on paper. This is a post-apocalyptic world where nuclear bombs went off everywhere. Yes, everything would be desolate, everything would be dirty and gritty and decaying. The gray color palette makes sense. It's just not appealing to look at for 2 hours. Gray is very bland. And heck, as we all know, there are 50 shades of it, and each one of them still bland. So when you're looking at this muted gray tone for 2 hours, you start to doze off. It's really boring. Again, it's a smart artistic choice, but from a business standpoint, this film doesn't look very appealing. All right, for the next half of my review, I am going to be going into spoiler territory, so if you don't want to know what happens, please go watch the movie and then come back and watch my review. Or if you just don't care, let's move on. So it's really hard for me to talk about this movie without mentioning these spoilers, because I was so disappointed in them. So it turns out that Gary Oldman's character is looking for the last surviving Bible known in existence. And his mindset is that if you control a civilization's religion, then you can rebuild a civilization and you can run a civilization. Which actually is a valid theory. Religion has been behind several of the civilizations that have come into power over the past centuries. The Greeks had it, China had their own religion, the English monarchy had Christianity, hell, even the United States had Christianity influencing their foundation. But I guess I was just let down a little bit knowing that a Bible was the MacGuffin of this film. Personally, I would believe that the civilization that had the resources and the plan to rebuild the physical world, that would be the one to come into power, but with this movie, they say that no, it's the one with the religion, which kind of saddens me. If it were me and we just went through a nuclear holocaust, I would say, all right, let's get a plan together, let's get the water clean again, and let's get the ecosystem established again so that we can rebuild this world and so it can thrive again. And not, hey, let's go find a book with stories from people way in the past that may or may not have happened, and that's gonna help us. No, we have the power to make the world a better place and a livable place again, not just some book that's sitting on a shelf somewhere. And now to the other plot twist reveal that happened in this film. It turns out that Denzel Washington's Eli character was blind the whole time, which is a cool, cathartic choice for any character, but I'm calling bullshit. This guy is doing kung fu moves. He's chopping up people left and right with a machete. He's shooting people with bows and arrows. He's actually turning to look at people when he's talking to them. And blind people typically don't do that, so I'm calling bullshit. And then plus, it's also revealed that Eli has this whole book memorized in his head. He's been reading it every night for the past 30 years. So what was the point of going on the run from Gary Oldman? Why not just burn the book and continue on your journey westward? I'm sorry, but this twist just undercuts the movie's main plotline for me. If you have it memorized, why do you need the physical book? Just so disappointing. And plus, the main plotline became very familiar to me. Let's see, it's a post-apocalyptic world, and there's a wandering badass just going about his way, and then he's chased by a gang of bikers in black clothing. They have big trucks, and they're chasing him because they want something from the wandering badass. Huh, I wonder where I've seen this before. Oh yeah, that's right, Mad Max. This whole thing is a rehash of Mad Max. Denzel Washington is Mad Max and Gary Oldman is Lord Humongous.
Just walk away.
This has been done 20 years earlier. No wonder this film isn't special. So in the end, the Book of Eli was a disappointment from the start. The aesthetic choices made sense for the world, but unfortunately it didn't make for a visually appealing film. Denzel Washington and Gary Oldman are fine in the movie with what they are given. I just wish the choices that were made for these characters in the script were different. And I know I should never say that being a reviewer. These are artistic choices that the artists made. I didn't make them, they did. So I need to take my own opinions of what I would have done out of it and just judge them on their choices. Just deep down, I was expecting something different from this book that Eli was carrying around, rather than it being a Bible. This plotline has been done before, actually way better before, and it doesn't add anything new to the post-apocalyptic genre. This is basically Mad Max fan fiction. So I'm gonna give the Book of Eli 2 out of 5 Blu-rays. Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm watching next. Let's take a look. Yes! Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. That is a bit of a tongue twister. Flashpoint Paradox. This is great. This is one of the best DC animated pictures out there. And it's one of the bloodiest, which of course I like. Now, I do know that this film is based on the 2011 Flashpoint story arc. And that arc was the catalyst into launching the New 52 about 5 or 6 years ago, where basically everything reset in the DC comics. And it's a lovely story about the Flash never being fast enough to save his mother. You know, the storyline that's done over and over and over again in the CW series. So I haven't seen it in a while and I'm really excited to watch it again for this channel. So everyone, have you seen the Book of Eli? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, please comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And when you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to my channel so you know the next time I post my next movie review. And make sure you stay tuned for my Journey to Episode 100 and Beyond series, where from episode 71 to 100, I'm going to be going over a 30 movies a day listing. All of these will be released leading up to episode 100, so please stay tuned for that. So everyone, I will see you next time with my review of Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.